Shout out to LTTV.
Shout out to LTTV.
Salute the LTTV in the building, man.
Shout out to brother LTTV.
Shout out to LTTV.
Salute the LTTV in the building, man.
Nobody's LT, and I'm certainly not implying that.
Shout out to LTTV.
Shout out to LTTV.
Salute the LTTV in the building, man.
Shout out to brother LTTV.
Shout out to LTTV.
Nobody's LT, and I'm certainly not implying that.
LT cooking your ass.
LTTV, whoever his channel name is called. I'm sorry for being the dusty. How about that?
If y'all want to keep up with the news and just shit be going on, subscribe to LTTV. That nigga know everything about everything. I ain't gonna lie.
Why are you here?
Because this is a no zone.
Recently, there's been a lot of talk about black fatigue, and the original definition was in favor of black people tired of systemic racism from the dominant white society. But now what we've seen is whites have flipped that narrative to fit their own justifications of being tired of black violence, black crime, and everything black people are doing negatively to affect even the lives of white people in the United States of America. Some blacks have also commented on their frustration with black fatigue as far as black on black crime is concerned. And another popular black creator who's giving his idea on the subject is none other than Anton Daniels.
I don't care about your reparations. Listen, I don't care if you ever get it. As a matter of fact, I'm advocating against it because it's going to up my dollar and make inflation go out of control. And so I don't want them to pay you. I don't want you to have nothing. Don't give these motherfuckers nothing. As a matter of fact, not only do I not want you to get nothing from reparations, I think that they should tax you for breathing.
Black fatigue, huh? Okay.
Yeah, LTTV, Blunt Up with LT, back at it with another video. Now, let's get right into this one. This is, when I look at this, I'm like, this is the Victim Olympics, led by Anton Daniels, crying for folks for what apparent reason? Crying about this whole black fatigue thing. This is why I had the intro, to explain what's going on here. This is pathetic. This is next level pathetic. But before we get into Anton Daniels trying to milk this black fatigue thing for everything it is, #1 coon on YouTube, getting the most views for cooning. This is what he does. This nigga just Myron 2.0, just wanting to be white so badly. I don't even understand this shit, but let's get into this.
We're going to take you down. We're going to arrest you, okay?
Now, speaking of Myron spoke about in 2020, the Black Lives Matter movement has all these folks enraged when a white lady called a black 5-year-old child with autism the N-word, they made all sorts of excuses and deflections instead of dealing with the matter at hand. They're like, oh, this is some fatigue from 2020 in the Black Lives Matter movement. We have this motherfucker, this Asian dude crashing out, thinking he's part of the racist white community, thinking he's part of the KKK or something. That was the wrong drop. It is what it is, man. Let's get into this. This guy crashes out. We're going to see Anton Daniels do his best. You know what? Let's get into this.
You're kidding me. Yep.
This 72-year-old man is the most unremorsefully racist you'll ever see.
Know that? You're not aware of that?
I'm a racist.
You are a racist.
I'm a racist.
Okay, that's fine. Why are you here?
Because this is a no zone.
And he thought it wasn't a big deal, but was very, very wrong.
Don't listen to what I'm saying. Okay. I'm gonna lay your down.
It all started on October 23rd, 2020, when a YouTuber named Dre Abram and his roommate, both of whom are black, were filming a podcast for Abram's subscribers in the neighborhood of Old Town Scottsdale. Everything was going smoothly until they noticed a man filming them and walking towards them.
Why are you coming over here?
I just want to see what you guys are taking pictures of.
Why is it your business?
It's not his business. Nigga, mind your damn business. Like, why are you here? I want to know what you're taking pictures of. Do we know you, sir?
You know what? This is my home.
Okay, mine too. Why are you taking pictures
Where
of
do
me?
you live?
I live in Scottsdale. Why are you taking pictures of me?
Michigan plates?
Yeah. Why are you taking pictures of me?
Well, you know what? We've had problems here.
I don't care. You don't know me. Why are you taking pictures of me? And I don't know you. Do you know a lot of white men are doing racist things in this world, sir?
No.
You don't know that? You're not aware of that?
I'm a racist.
You are a racist.
I'm a racist.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay?
We don't care.
Let me tell you.
We don't care.
So this guy comes up to two black dudes shooting some videos, doing their podcast out here in the middle of Scottsdale, and this motherfucker comes up to them. I'm a racist. I'm a racist. It's like, bro, did we ask? Did we ask? Do we care? Who the fuck are you?
So
what's your
issue?
point? Why are you here?
Because this is a no zone.
Not really.
Oh, is it?
Not really, sir.
Tell me.
There's not a not. So I'm here. And what
But
I'm
you
about
don't
to
live
do.
here.
What the hell was that?
Zone.
Not really.
Oh, is it?
Not really, sir.
Tell me.
There's not a not. So I'm here. And what I'm about to do. What I'm about to do. I do. I stay here. What I'm about to do.
Yeah.
Me and my friend, we about to record our video.
Okay.
And you not gonna do a thing about it. Y'all hear me?
That's fine. I'll
not
tell you
gonna do
what do you
a
want to hear?
thing. I don't want to hear you say nothing.
Oh, I'll tell you what, though.
You just not gonna do another thing. So,
Why?
as y'all see,
You're
can't keep the
filming me
camera.
doesn't stop
Yeah.
me from doing things.
It doesn't mean I'm about to record my video,
Okay.
and this not gonna do anything,
Okay.
and let you try to touch me. Let you try to touch him.
Oh, I wouldn't touch you.
You already disrespected me. Can you step back a little bit? I feel like you harm me.
We are 6 feet.
Yeah, no. I need you to step back. So, just stay where you at.
You ain't man enough.
It's okay. You don't gotta think I'm man enough, my baby. Yeah, just keep it walking. And it's gonna be like that today, y'all. I hope y'all seen all of that. I am a famous YouTuber. This is actually his establishment. So anybody, y'all all know I just moved to Arizona, and this is his friend as well. So anybody that come to this establishment, y'all know what it is. Y'all know exactly what his establishment is, and y'all know where he works. And it's okay. Hey, we got money, and we doing well. He mad. So we're gonna handle it like that. You saw he walked away, because I got something for him and this man. But Kane, pick up your camera. We about to get this in.
Abram posted the very shocking clip on his Instagram page, and since this was at the height of the BLM movement, it became so viral that the Scottsdale police reached out to him that same day and also visited the now notorious man.
Hello? Hi, is this Paul?
Yeah,
Hey, Paul, this is Officer of the Scottsdale Police Department.
yeah,
Hey, I was wondering if I could talk with you for a few minutes. Are you available?
sure.
Okay, do you want to come down here? You want me to come up there, or what you want?
Oh,
Which works best?
I'll let you in.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
72-year-old Paul Ung seemed like the owner of the business, but that wasn't the case as he only lived above the business and had no other involvement with it at all.
So this man, he lives above the business. He was acting like the business is his, like it's his establishment. He's doing pretty much volunteer work on the yard, acting like it's his premises. It's like, bro, you live upstairs. You don't even work there. What are you doing? This 72-year-old
was actually working for a real estate agency at the time, and even that wouldn't be for much longer. But for now, he had to explain the cause of his actions to the officer.
About an incident that happened earlier out here on the street. I was just wondering what led up to all that.
Well, I saw these two black guys
Okay.
early in the morning.
Do you remember about what time?
7 something.
Okay.
I walk my dogs early in the morning.
I think people have to understand that this entire black fatigue shit is just an excuse to practice chest out racism. When black folks do it and they're like, yeah, I'm tired of black fatigue. I'm tired of these black people as well. This ghetto bullshit, blah, blah, blah. It's just self-hatred. It's just Anton Daniels monetizing the cooning like he always does. We're going to get into that shortly. But look, this is pathetic.
And the guy was going around with a camera. Pretty sophisticated camera.
Okay.
Nothing like, not a tourist.
Pretty sophisticated camera. So you approach him and say it's a no nigga zone. So you're mad that he has money. You're mad that he's not a permanent underclass. Nigga, you're not white. You ain't even from America. What the hell is going on?
Okay.
So he's walking around, and he's going up and down the street, and he's taking pictures, both sides. And because of the incidents or the stuff that we've had going on here,
Right.
Keep an eye on these guys. Basically, like, we had the incidents up here at the mall, and then when we had the march back here and everything. Well, you know what? I live upstairs. I don't need anybody coming down here and torching anything, because I'd be an oven. I'd be gone. My wife is basically housebound.
Okay.
And I can't evacuate her.
Understand this. Keep this in mind, folks. His wife is housebound. He can't evacuate her. She can't do things for herself. And he puts her life at risk following this. Let's get into this.
So I got to be very careful. So I see these guys do all this. And in the past, what we've done is, whenever we see cars that are going back and forth, etc., we make a mental note or we take a picture. Okay. So I took a picture of those guys. And they took exception to the fact that I took a picture of them. So I said, well, you're taking pictures here, why can't I take a picture of you? First words out of his mouth were, there's a lot of white people around here that are racist. I said, well, hell, look at one.
He said there's a lot of white folks around that are racist. You're looking at one. You're not white, sir. Stop it. What the hell is going on, man?
Here, why can't I take a picture of you? First words out of his mouth were, there's a lot of white people around here that are racist. I said, well, hell, look at one. And I told him, I said, look, how many around here? That's exactly what I told him. And, we went back and forth a little bit, and I said, okay, well, guys, I'm gone. And it started.
Then you walked away?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't touch him. I said, hey, I'll maintain the 6 foot, away from you and everything. He claimed he's a resident of Scottsdale. Well, the license plate was in Arizona. So.
Do you remember where it was from?
Yeah, I need a picture of it. I took this picture.
Abram had recently moved over to Scottsdale from Michigan and was filming a video to showcase how nice Scottsdale and Arizona are to his viewers, which was when the incident happened. Since they didn't approach any of the buildings or cause any disturbance, Paul had no business approaching them and asking what they were doing in the neighborhood.
Okay, so I took that picture first, and then they took a picture of me.
Okay.
Okay. Then I forwarded the picture to another guy down here, one of the shop owners, and he couldn't read the license plate. So I said, okay, I'll go get a closer look. So I got a closer look. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you. This is really suspicious because 7 o'clock in the morning, there's usually nobody on the street, okay? So for these guys to be sitting out here messing around with cameras and everything, but look in the background here. Two more guys.
Okay.
All right. Now, I'm not paranoid or anything, but I keep an eye on the neighborhood.
So black guys merely existing, standing outside in the neighborhood warrants this type of treatment.
And this is unusual for the neighborhood.
Okay.
7 o'clock in the morning. Now we know there's BLM, we know there's Antifa, and we also know that probably starting November 1st, because everything's been so damn quiet around here, we can anticipate something. And I'm just getting ahead of the game. So, I documented it.
Okay.
The officer was only here to get Paul's side of the story and left shortly after, but wouldn't be gone for too long. In 1964, Congress passed the Civil Rights Act, which prohibits discrimination on the basis of race, color, religion, or national origin. That means telling two black men that they couldn't be in your neighborhood was illegal, and Paul would be visited again by officers 24 hours later.
You hear that? You hear all these dumbasses all up on the internet talking about free speech. I can just be a chest out racist motherfucker and say all these disparaging things and make these hostile threats to y'all because free speech this, free speech that. Oh! Goddamn fools. Learn the law, man. Learn the damn rules, man. Learn the damn rules.
Of race, color, religion, Paul's side of the story, and left shortly after, but wouldn't be gone for too long. In 1964, Congress passed the Civil Rights Act, which prohibits discrimination on the basis of race, color, religion, or national origin. That means telling two black men that they couldn't be in your neighborhood was illegal, and Paul would be visited again by officers 24 hours later, but with a very different mission.
Hey, Paul.
Come on in. You got your sidekick there again today?
Yeah.
Is your back up?
No, back up. Just.
Gentlemen.
Paul, I just wanted to follow up with last night. I know we talked about the whole incident, so it's still referenced that whole incident. We talked about some of the comments being made between you and that other gentleman.
Mm-hmm.
So, clarifying from you, I kind of want to understand, do you kind of see how the comments you made might be provoking and insulting in any way?
Well,
I mean,
of course.
from his
I mean,
point of
it
view?
was, remember what I told you? The first words out of his mouth were, Scottsdale's full of white racists.
Right! It's a total fabrication.
Sir, do you know that they seen the footage, right? You know the reason why they showed up at your gates is because they seen the footage. They have all the evidence, sir.
Go to jail, you son of a bitch! All right, hold him there. You go to jail!
And my comment directly to him, which you won't see on the video because they weren't videoing it. I said, hey, they're not all white. That's what I said to him.
All right, yeah, that part wasn't on the video.
Yeah, of course not.
Did you watch the video? Go back, because I know you're saying that you're going to. Okay, that's no problem. But you do understand how the comments that you made to him would be provoking, almost provoking a fight. I mean, would it be fair to say that, put yourself in his position, that those kind of comments might kind of imply that you want to fight? Huh?
They're inflammatory?
I'm asking what you think.
Well,
let's look at it from your perspective.
To be inflammatory.
Do you feel like it would be fair to assume that, from his point of view, it might be provoking any kind of retaliation or fight that you might have been trying to to get him riled up?
No, of course not. But 7 o'clock in the morning, when there's nobody in town, to be out there, taking pictures of everything and mapping the place.
Wouldn't that be the perfect time? There's nobody there. It's not really busy. You take advantage of the morning time. Early bird gets the worm. What are you talking about, nigga? This is why minding your own business is fundamental. All this being up in other people's business is just like, what are you doing, sir? This is why you're finding yourself in trouble. You have a housebound wife that can't do anything for herself. You're 72 years old. Now you going to jail. Who's doing anything for your wife? Did you not think about that? Did you not prioritize your wife that's housebound?
That's a recon team. I know it. I think we all know it.
So what was your full intentions when you used those kind of
he inflamed me when his insinuation was that Scottsdale is full of white racists. And we're not. And
now understand, Trump does not govern correctly. Nothing is governed through Congress. He just throws all these executive orders, and a lot of them get repelled. A lot of them get blocked by judges. A lot of them are just up in the air still. So when Trump governs, it's like, man, we ain't taking that serious.
fair. If he wants to call them all white racists, I just let him know they're not all white. So that's basically what it was all about.
Yeah, and you're right, that part wasn't on video, so this is kind of new. I didn't hear about any of that last night. So you do understand how that there could be serious fallback from the comments that
I can understand that, but the thing I'm wondering now is, why are we wasting so much energy on this? He'll be dead by next Tuesday.
Do y'all hear this shit? Do y'all hear this shit?
I can understand that, but the thing I'm wondering now is, why are we wasting so much energy on this? He'll be dead by next Tuesday.
He did that shit. Guilty as fuck.
He'll be dead by next Tuesday. You are predicting that this man will be dead by next Tuesday. Based on what information, sir? Are you gonna do it yourself? Are you telling them that's his death? What the hell is going on?
Whoa. He'll be gone. This whole thing will be forgotten and gone.
Are you talking about the incident as a whole?
Yeah.
Wait, but
the backlash from it is going to be gone.
Paul had a right to freedom of speech, but most legal systems generally set limits, particularly when freedom of speech conflicts with other rights and protections. Paul's actions were in direct conflict with Abram's civil rights, and so he would be punished for it.
We're going to take it down. We're going to arrest you, Kay.
You're kidding me.
Yep. So
For what?
Take this.
For
You're
what?
being charged with disorderly conduct.
You gotta be kidding me.
But can you take your other hand out of your
No,
pocket?
wait.
Hold on.
No, I understand.
We'll talk about it.
I'm not protesting. I'm not protesting. All I want to say is reach in my right hand pocket. I'm just letting you know.
Okay. You have weapons or what?
Yes.
Okay.
Paul had a firearm on him, and while this was a day after the incident with Abram, it was concerning if he had the gun on him at the time, and if he was trying to get a rise from Abram for a chance to use it.
He was provoking him. He said he will be dead by next Tuesday.
I've seen him do it.
So, and you got the blick on you. What are you doing, sir? Very suspicious, sir. Very suspicious.
What do you normally carry when you come out of your house, or is it just for us? Well, that's just it's under the circumstances, with the issues going on here, et cetera, et cetera.
Under the circumstances with the issues going on here. Understand the issues that he was complaining about before. He was complaining about the BLM march, Antifa, all sorts of stuff, looking at innocent black folks, shooting a podcast, questioning them, taking pictures of them, profiling them as if he's a crooked cop or something.
So do you always carry that then? Is that that's what he's asking?
Oh yeah.
No, I mean it's Arizona.
Of course, but it's totally legal. No, I'm very well aware of it. I appreciate you telling us. No, that's how it works.
The fact you had that cup in your hand, never put your hand in your pocket. So
no,
Paul was taken to the jail for questioning and eventually released with a citation, but that wasn't the end of his troubles, as his real estate agency in Scottsdale released a statement about the incident saying that he has since been fired with the recommendation that his license be revoked. With the sense of unemployment and revocation of his career, Paul was in a pretty bad spot, but even this wasn't enough punishment according to his victim.
Is that a harsh enough punishment for him? I feel as if the Scottsdale Police Department did handle that very well. They did give me a call the same night.
Understand this, all right? He lives in this apartment above a store. His wife is housebound. He lost his employment. It's going to be very difficult for him to find new employment, seeing that this went pretty much viral and his name has been smeared and he looks like a racist motherfucker because he said it chest out. This is who he is. He's 72 years old. He could have retired 7 years ago, but clearly he don't got the bread. So yeah, this is a dusty life for him. This is what I notice a lot of the most racist folks will see a lot of black folks shining, making money, living their life freely, doing what they want to do on 9 to 5 business hours. They're out enjoying living their life. They're like, how do you have the time and availability? And these racist folks get mad as hell because there's a concerted effort to make black people the permanent underclass. Just completely just chest out racism everywhere.
Asked me if I would want him to be arrested or prosecuted. I did say I wanted him prosecuted to the furthest extent. So we are still figuring out if that is the furthest extent he can be prosecuted. So my goal is to just set an example. I don't want this done to any other American. I want everybody to know that this is not okay. So again, things figure out if that is the furthest that we can go with this thing.
Talk about Shiloh.
Now it's ridiculous the way black people get profiled. Even in Canada, it's like America. Of course, America has all the racist tropes, all the chest out, more overt racism. But there's a whole bunch of covert racism in Canada. You'll see a whole bunch of newly landed immigrants, Indian immigrants at a strip plaza, be like 20, 30 of them outside doing whatever, loitering, doing whatever. No one asked them a single question. No one does anything. See white folks at a skate park near a corner store, 20 of them standing there doing whatever they want to do. There'll be 5 black folks, 5, 6 black folks outside of a corner store standing there. They're harassed. Cops are on them. What are y'all doing? Y'all can't be standing here, X, Y, and Z. Just living life. Can't stand outside, can't live life. You have to be suspicious for some reason. And then these motherfuckers want to cry about black fatigue like they're sick of black folks, minding their own business, living their life. How are you the victim? This lady right here, who Anton Daniels capes for, stands up for the racist lady, what's that name? Shiloh, whatever the hell her name is. No name brand ass bitch. That woman, that racist lady, she stands up for her. Anton Daniels seconds the points. And for some reason, they become the victims. They start highlighting things that makes them feel annoyed when it comes to black people and ghetto antics and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, sir and ma'am, what the fuck does this have to do with the situation? There's a whole lot of deflecting and a whole lot of unaccountability to practice your chest out racism from this lady and Anton Daniels' chest out self-hatred, self-disdain, disdain for the community.
Hendricks, the woman who called a 5-year-old a racial slur. My first impression after watching the video, a little bit of white trash. I have to be honest, the kid was 5. I have worked with 5-year-olds for the last 15 years. Absolutely everything they do is out of pocket. They're like little unhinged drunk people. Nothing they do makes sense.
So 5-year-olds are, what was that again?
Kid was 5. I have worked with 5-year-olds for the last 15 years. Absolutely everything they do is out of pocket.
5-year-olds, everything they do is out of pocket.
They're like little unhinged drunk people.
Little unhinged drunk people.
Nothing they do makes sense.
Nothing they do makes sense.
A 5-year-old is capable of rifling through somebody's bag and taking things that don't belong to them. Ask any kindergarten teacher. But I realize why so many people are wanting to defend this. Because black fatigue is real. I think
Clip it, nigga.
You just said that 5-year-olds are crazy drunk, like crazy old drunk people. They are menaces to society. They will rifle through your bags, X, Y, and Z. But you can understand why someone's mad at a 5-year-old with autism because they're mad. They have black fatigue. Do you understand that you're just chest out racist? You're using this as a conduit to express your racism. Oh, this is a mere this is a convenient excuse for you. And it doesn't even make sense. It's not even a good excuse. It's just like, what the hell are you trying, ma'am? Type of mental gymnastics is this? The focus is on you.
Society as a whole is there. We are just so unbelievably fed up with the ghetto ratchet behavior.
We're fed up with the ghetto ratchet behavior. Now, I mixed in a bunch of these videos. This isn't anything to do with well, this is something to do with this, but this isn't Anton's video. We're gonna come right back into Anton's video. But This is about a grown white lady calling a 5-year-old black child the N-word, and your focus is on black people's ghetto behavior to deflect from this woman's atrocious, pathetic behavior.
Look at this.
It's a shocking standoff between deputies and two brothers armed with a loaded gun.
Put it down for me, okay?
Oh, yes! Yes! Yo! Get that shit off my face, bro! I saw this!
Let it play, let it play, let it play, let it play.
Just go ahead and drop that.
Put it down, babe. Go ahead and put it down for me, okay?
You're not in trouble. You have to drop that and come talk to us, all right?
If there's a magazine inside the magazine well,
Put it down, baby.
they're playing with the gun back and forth. The one in the blue is trying to take it from the one in the orange.
Put it down, baby.
Just drop it, buddy.
Put it down, babe. You're okay. Put it down,
And
okay?
now the kid in the
We wanna
blue
put
and
all
green
these
has
away,
a
but we
firearm.
need you to put it down, baby.
Fuck, I don't want to do that. Just wait. Let's try to keep talking with them.
Hit the wall.
I want you to hit the wall.
Hey, put that. Just keep it down.
Sean.
Down.
I want you to hit the wall or hit the fence.
It's gonna hit the wall.
Now understand, a 5-year-old black autistic child was called the N-word, and racist white folks and self-hating black folks left there talking about black fatigue after that incident. We witnessed this incident and we're like, damn, these kids are crazy. These kids need to put down this gun. End of story. There ain't no white fatigue after this. It's just a bunch of crazy little kids.
Come on, Sean. Let's listen, okay, babe? We don't want to hurt you, honey.
Sean, this isn't a game no more. We're not playing a game right now. This is serious.
40 going out. 40, 40, 40.
Drop it! Drop it! Drop it, Sean! Load another one. Load another one. Drop it now! You're gonna get hit! Drop it!
Yo, drop
the gun!
Drop it, both of you.
I don't even have the gun. I don't have the gun.
Get over here.
The 9-year-old responds by raising the gun and taking aim at the deputies. Officers say he actually pulled the trigger, but thank goodness the gun malfunctioned.
This could have turned out in the worst nightmare for the whole nation.
I've seen him. This man pulled the trigger too. The gun jammed. Hold on. Hold on.
And taking aim at the deputies. Officers say he actually pulled the trigger, but thank goodness the gun malfunctioned.
This could have turned out in the worst nightmare for the whole nation. For those deputies there, they're still reeling and having to deal with this, that they might have had to use deadly force in a 7 and a 9-year-old.
And there's so many parents I've seen.
Oh, that wasn't 2 5-year-olds. That was a 7 and a 9-year-old. But we're talking about black fatigue.
You're a victim.
There we go, CSI.
Have unsecured firearms with their kids. You actually hear stories about kids who go into their mom's purse, grab the gun, and then go to school with it and play around, and then they get confiscated. God forbid they shot somebody. And that's also happened too. So
Entitlement, the victimhood, that they want to praise this woman. But what she...
The entitlement, the victimhood.
Excuse me, bitch?
What is this? The entitlement and the victimhood. You sound like you are projecting, ma'am. It sounds like you were describing yourself. Because how are you the victim in this? How are you talking about black fatigue off of this incident?
She did is not praiseworthy. But also on the same hand, please remember that every day that us white people get on this app, we get called racial slurs every single day. So if you don't want to be called a racial slur, you also have to stop calling people racial slurs.
Oh!
This is when people become intentionally dense. Racial slurs on an app versus a grown-ass white woman calling a 5-year-old autistic child the N-word in person at a public park. You're complaining of, did he call her racial slurs? Is he a grown-up? What the hell? This is the most pathetic deflection of all time. Ma'am, do you hear yourself?
You can't talk out of both sides of your mouth. But for the love of God, please leave the children out of it. Adults are stupid. They're going to do stupid things. But you're a different level of stupid when you bring kids into it. Thanks for coming to my TED.
So basically what this woman is saying is that two things can be true at the same time. And I said,
you see this bullshit? Two things could be true at the same time. This is an isolated incident where one white lady was belligerent, disrespectful, and called a black autistic 5-year-old child a racial slur. That is it. That is it. That's all we're talking about. That is it. That is all. To obfuscate to some, oh, black fatigue, ghetto, this has nothing to do with the incident. This is you being unaccountable and entitled. This is where folks think that they're entitled to just do whatever atrocity to a child and think it's okay. You don't know how that's going to scar the child.
I said this the other day when this whole situation first broke out, and then we had the panel on Monday night where I basically said that white people are starting to get fed up, and that is the whole premise behind black fatigue, is that nobody wants you.
That is the whole premise behind black fatigue. Understand that that's what Anton Daniels says at 1858. We're going to go back to that timestamp because...
Why are you here?
Because this is a no zone.
Recently, there's been a lot of talk about black fatigue, and the original definition was in favor of black people tired of systemic racism from the dominant white society. But
that was the original meaning. That's what it was originally. Just like woke, they hijacked it so they can shit on it all over, so they can take any type of movement. Woke didn't mean what the hell they turned it into be. Fairies and LGBTQ flags and trans in sports. That was not what woke was. It was a rebranding, the same way they hijack black fatigue. So when black people want to speak about issues, the ailments of our society, it gets hijacked by racist folks that want to keep black people as a permanent underclass. All their movements, all their statements, everything hijacked.
And then we had the panel on Monday night where I basically said that white people are starting to get fed up, and that is the whole premise behind black fatigue, is that
white people are starting to get fed up. So we got this fat, dusty coon sitting up here as their spokesperson. Massa, accept me. It's like, bro.
LT checked him. LT said,
that nobody wants you to continue to play victim for the rest of your life. They tired of being held accountable.
All right, so nobody, once again, let me play this through.
He said that white people are starting to get fed up, and that is the whole premise behind black fatigue, is that nobody wants you to continue to play victim for the rest of your life. They tired of being held accountable for things that their ancestors did.
You're a victim.
Here we go, CSI.
Being held accountable for what their ancestors did. Are you kidding me? This is Shiloh Hendricks. This is her act to a 5-year-old. How are you the victim? How are they sick and tired? How are they fed up? Entitlement. You are, what the fuck? This is the ultimate entitlement. You just want to do something and be unaccountable, move with impunity, and you're supposed to be fed up with folks when they call you out for your deplorable behavior. Oh, I'm tired of these niggas. I can't be entitled to do what I want. They're standing up for themselves.
They tired of you blaming all of your failures and the things that you weren't able to accomplish on white people. They're tired of you sitting there saying that you're a victim.
Bro, you lost the battle to weight and still continue to lose every day. Like, what are we talking about, sir?
Every single day, regardless of what your circumstance is, regardless of what you've been given, regardless of all of the affirmative action, regardless of the fact that you're saying that you're the most educated, but really you're the most enrolled. They tired of you blaming your debt on the system.
Now, Anton Daniels, you got to stop the projecting. You got to stop the projecting. Anton Daniels, I don't even want to get into his personal business, but he always complained about his wife going for her post-secondary education and wasting that and not doing anything. Not following up in a career, just working jobs and him, like, I don't, a lot of these folks do this shit. They project their own personal issues, and it's just like, bro, like, stop it, man. They're getting their degrees. Let them get their post-secondary, let them get their post-secondary education without you crying every damn day.
They're tired of you saying that white men are the problem. They're tired of you asking for programs, and they're tired of being held accountable for the decisions that you're making every single day.
She'll be watching her back for the rest of her life. Yeah, because that's not thuggery, hoodrattery, animalistic. This is why people have black fatigue. When you act like this,
When you act like this is why people have black fatigue. Understand, this is the actions of a racist white lady. And she's saying, when you act like this. Act like what, ma'am? Act like what? What are you talking about? What are black folks acting like? This is a white woman's actions.
Yeah, because that's not thuggery, hoodrattery, animalistic. This is why people have black fatigue. When you act like this, it's not normal behavior. People do stupid stuff. People say stupid stuff. That's life. It's not normal to threaten to unalive people because you don't like what they're doing. But here we are. People are getting sick and tired of opening up TikTok and seeing brawls on cruise ships, brawls in the airport, like literally the most ghetto behavior. We're tired. We're tired of it. But then whining and complaining and acting like it's not your fault that you act that way. Yeah.
And so that comment proved her right. And for whatever reason, y'all think that the white people don't have eyes, that people that are not black don't have eyes, and they can't see how ghetto a lot of this is. And then I have to pay for it because I got to go outside and then account for what you did. People are tired in general. Black people, I'll just say this. First, let's start with the whole Shiloh, whatever her name is, situation, right? Because I'm not sure that I actually spoke on this outside of the panel.
Bro barely knows her name, but he still wants to put on the cape and defend this lady.
So let me address this. Again, more than one thing can be true at the same time. Was it right that they called the child the N-word? Absolutely not.
So end the story. That's where it ends. That's where it ends.
That is already a given. I'm not sure that there's anybody that actually can justify why it would make sense to call a 5-year-old that name.
So what the fuck is this? What is this video about? If there's no justification, why is the conclusion of Shiloh Hendricks calling a 5-year-old the N-word black fatigue? Oh, we're tired of the ghetto. We're tired of this. Two things could be true. What does one have to do with the other, sir? Nobody's defending it. But what is this? A mere convenient deflection so we can focus on something else? So how is that not a defense? You're deflecting. If someone takes a shot at you and somebody grabs a shield and deflects the bullet, is that not a defense?
Oh!
100%. At the same time, if you're trying to understand why people are supporting this person, it's because they have black fatigue.
It's because they're racist, sir. It's because they're racist. If you are tired of ghetto black people in your community, if you were tired of ghetto-ness or whatever the fuck your version of black fatigue is, how does donating to a racist white lady who called a 5-year-old kid the N-word, what does one have to do with the other? How is that going to stop the ghetto-ness by empowering a racist?
And they're tired of, I'll give you an example. When are we going to stop doing all of the ghetto ratchet stuff? When are we not going to go into areas and, make it worse, but then say that other people are gentrifying it when they're making it better and they raising the property values of places that we never took care of?
All right, I want to cover this one.
For the first time since he was arrested for second-degree murder, malicious wounding, and firearms charges, Tyler Chase Butler faced a judge this morning. The 27-year-old is ordered to stay in jail without bond after he was accused of shooting and killing 18-year-old Massaponack High senior Michael Bosworth.
Give a male with a gunshot wound to the chest.
The sheriff's office says Butler fired shots at Bosworth and 2 other teenagers because he thought they were breaking into his house along Mackenzie Lane in Fredericksburg. It happened around 3 a.m. Saturday. Here's neighbor Maria Sedlak.
I just woke up and all the house was flashing with blue lights.
I never understand why they do these interviews if it's so useless. They ask the neighbor, like, oh, what do you know? It's like, I woke up and there was flashing lights. Yeah, it's a murder investigation, bitch. I know you're going to see cops.
they're just going to add a little bit something for razzle-dazzle. You know what razzle-dazzle is?
Court documents reveal a much different story. They say the two other teens who survived claimed they were playing the Ding Dong Ditch Challenge. It's a TikTok prank where kids try to kick a stranger's front door and run.
Ding Dong Ditch is a prank challenge where they try to kick a front door? What the? That's not Ding Dong Ditch. You ding dong and you ditch, nigga. The game, it describes itself. What are you talking about? You don't kick in a nigga door at 3 a.m. in the morning.
Oh!
What the fuck is going on out here?
Reveal a much different story. They say the two other teens who survived claimed they were playing the Ding Dong Ditch Challenge. It's a TikTok prank where kids try to kick a stranger's front door and run away.
That's not what Ding Dong Ditch is. Ding Dong Ditch is like, as you say in the title, you ding dong and you ditch, kicking the door in.
Stop. We have to talk about something. Did y'all just rebrand Nikki 9 Door?
Yes.
Is that what happened?
Nikki 9 Door thing is really depends on where you are. Some people call it Nikki 9 Door. Some people call it Ding Dong Ditch. Depending on where you are, you have different names. So it was Ding Dong Ditch, but you ding dong.
Okay, I'm
and
ignorant.
You ditch.
My apologies.
Wait, the UK, what is it? Knock knock ginger? Knock knock ginger? What the hell, man?
Oh! Somebody! Oh! He needs some milk!
Nikki 9 Door. Some people call it Ding Dong Ditch. Depending on where you are, you have different names. So it was Ding Dong Ditch, but you ding dong.
Okay, I'm
and
ignorant.
You ditched.
My apologies.
And you ditched.
According to the detective, he and his friends had hit a couple of doors in the neighborhood. The juvenile is not familiar with the neighborhood that they were in. The juvenile said as they were running from a residence, he and his friends were shot at.
Did they kick on your door, do you know?
Not on ours.
But you know down
other
here.
neighbors, yes.
The case has sparked a big debate in the Spotsylvania community.
I just feel like it was very unfortunate all the way around. I feel sorry for the parents, but I also feel sorry for my neighbors. If someone came, kicking on my door, like front door, back door, wherever door, we will have been protecting our house too.
Bosworth's family didn't want to go on camera, but his stepfather tells WSA 9 he was a kid who loved to play lacrosse. He was getting ready to graduate with aspirations of joining the U.S. Marine Corps.
Butler now has
You were gonna join the U.S. Marine Corps, but you were doing your version of Ding Dong Ditch at 3 a.m. kicking in niggas' doors, bro. What are we doing out here? These are the type of people that come on, man.
A preliminary hearing scheduled in June. He was assigned a public defender this morning. Meantime, friends of Michael Bosworth held a vigil for him last night with the message, justice for Mikey.
Did they mention what time this happened at?
Good.
3 a.m.
No.
It happened around 3 a.m. Saturday. Here's neighbor Maria said.
No.
Free my nigga.
Nah, free him. 3 in the morning.
Free him. It's 3 in the morning. You're not even ding dong dishing. You're caving in people's door. What's up?
Okay. You guys said free him, or the people were saying a vigil, justice for him. He already got his justice. You fucking dumbass.
3 in the morning.
You're a fucking dumbass. No. This is not a prank. It is not a prank to run up to people, brandish a knife, terrorize them, and run off for TikTok. That's not a prank. That's a crime. Okay? You guys went in this neighborhood and you terrorized people in the middle of the night.
That's breaking and entering. You kicked in someone's door at 3 a.m. Like, what are we doing out here?
A lot of you guys watching it from different parts of the world. Maybe crime levels where you're at are reasonable. In North America, where a lot of these break-ins happen and people are held at gunpoint, this is not something you play with, right? The same way I wouldn't go to Israel, start brandishing certain insignias and talk about death to some people. Different contexts, different cultures are going to have different sensibilities. North America, unfortunately, is just a place where a lot of this crime is commonplace. And especially in certain places, you see it on the news every day. This person was broken into, and people, like, I know so many people in my own life who've had their cars broken into, who've had their homes broken into, and what they'll tell you is it scarred them.
Whoops, my bad.
It scarred them because you no longer feel safe.
I did not mean to do that drop. That was a complete accident. I know people that got their house robbed and their car stolen. It's
in
crazy.
a lot of aspects, especially when it's your home. If you got kids and shit, that'll change you completely. I know people who've literally sold houses and moved to different areas because they couldn't handle what had happened to them. So these kids playing this prank, That's fucked up. Even if he don't get shot, it's so fucked up what they doing in the middle of the night. Because think about the terror that they're living with, not knowing what had happened. If they don't know it's a prank, they might think somebody's trying to break in. You might be affecting them permanently from that point on. So no, this is not a prank. The kid got shot. I don't give a fuck. Do I feel bad? No. Do I feel good about it? No either. Because it's not good that some kids died and people were traumatized. But
see, I don't feel good about this entire thing at all. You have a kid that's dead because he did a dumbass ding-dong ditch prank. That's not ding-dong ditch. He kicked in somebody's door. And you have another man who's in jail now, facing charges. And he has a public defender. That's not good at all. That is not good at all. You're going to want a real attorney to litigate this trial. You don't want to go in there with a public defender. They're sending your ass to jail if you get a public defender. And it's like someone was kicking in your door. You're protecting your house. So for me, I'm like, that's crazy. And I was completely right. The PTSD that folks get from events like that, people kicking in your door, you're going to wake up and you're going to constantly have that feeling like, oh, is something happening? You have this constant paranoia. Like you're always on high alert. And it wasn't like that. You were living your peaceful life prior to that. But things like that, incidents like that, they accumulate and people do get PTSD. So it's not anything to play with. Folks need to stop this shit.
I told y'all this before. A lot of people are going to have to die for something to happen about these stupid pranks. And when they do, I will not feel bad at all. Why? Because I think it's going to serve as a lesson for other people. And all you people around with people in their day-to-day lives, when it happens to you, you ain't never going to see me feel bad. Not a chance. 3 a.m, crack of dawning, and I'm yawning.
Now, when something like this happens and folks are looking at this as an isolated incident and they're like, yeah, breaking it down, analyzing this situation, and then they're going to take this situation and talk about a bigger issue in society as pranks and these streamers and people like Johnny Somali and all these fuck niggas that are going around terrorizing folks for YouTube views, cash, clout, entertainment in the name of a prank that's not a prank. It makes sense. It makes sense to do that. Make it a larger conversation about something. It's in direct comparison to something that we just witnessed in the news that was a prank that went left, that wasn't really a prank. You kicked in a motherfucker's door. But when you take something like Shiloh Hendricks calling a black child the N-word and then you go to black fatigue and say two things can be true, it's like, bro, what are we doing out here? This is absolute filthy work. This is a horrible deflection just to play Superman for massa. Like, what are we doing out here?
Questions?
God, I just want to do a couple rounds.
I got questions.
Because I got this vest on. Look at my bad boy on.
Can I ask my questions?
Since you're so serious and shit. Whatever.
If you haven't graduated for high school yet, what the fuck are you doing outside at 3 a.m.?
Good question.
What the fuck are you doing outside at 3 a.m.?
My bad.
Before you get shot.
I'm stupid.
3 a.m., you haven't graduated high school.
What a good question.
You're gallivanting in a neighborhood you don't know.
Yeah.
Kicking people's door in.
Facts.
I got questions.
Was it a weekday? If it's a weekday, that's wild.
I got questions.
Is school out?
No. For summer? No. Not yet. Even on a weekend. It's 3 a.m. What are you doing? Upagin Kai?
That's a good question, bro. You got any more good questions? I should have thought of that.
Yeah, but you were too busy being mad. So, but I understand why you're mad.
True. Okay. What are the good questions you got?
Where are your parents at? Have you been to Virginia?
I've been to the DMV a few times.
There's some places that, you know.
I don't even think that really matters. Because people even in rural areas sometimes have their places broken into. Depending on where you're at, what suburbs is a thing. Listen, people own guns for a reason.
I got a question.
People own guns for a reason.
Question. What is the gun laws in Virginia?
You can own. You're allowed to carry.
Because that would have been to me the problem there.
He's not being charged for that.
But you're not being charged for that.
Yeah. I will
you're
say
ding dong ditching, and it's not even including a ding dong. You're caving people's door in.
Yeah.
And you're appalled at the fact that you got shot at and died.
Yeah. Not only are they terrorizing people, but they're also profiting from it. Get fucked. You should never be allowed to make money that way, in my opinion. You cannot take away people's safety or sense of safety and then think you can just walk off with that and make as much money as you want. Get fucked.
To all the friends of that guy, Well, welcome to the real world whenever you do something, there's consequences.
Facts.
You guys are no longer cute no more. You understand what I'm saying? You was a kid, that was cute. But you're no longer that. You're welcome to adulthood. Whenever you're gonna do something, there's gonna be repercussion and there's gonna be things that are gonna happen. Okay? You cannot cave someone's door in at 3 a.m, not expect some fuck shit to happen.
He is a lacrosse player, though.
And?
From what I understand, those people are immune to consequences.
How? Explain yourself.
Essentially, from what I understand, the moment you play lacrosse, life's just easier.
No. Anyways, yeah, I don't care either. I don't really feel no type of way. I don't have sympathy for that. You fucked up in a big time. It's unfortunate that your parents have to go through the grief of you being gone for such a dumb shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's a real injustice. Some man sitting in jail. That's a real injustice.
But
it is
really,
crazy to me. And that his only mistake was shooting a white person. I think. That's what I think. I'm going to say it. I said it. I think with all the stand your ground shit that I've seen, all the self-defense cases I've seen in the States, the fact that this man's sitting in jail and here's like the only circumstance I could ever see where you maybe make me feel like maybe he's supposed to stay in jail. If he popped open the door, saw them running and started shooting, maybe. But from what I understand, he shot them through the door, which means that they were banging on the door. He heard them and he started shooting, not knowing that maybe he got their back. But listen, I'll wait to hear more details, but this makes me think of that prankster that got shot up.
Jesus Christ.
Wait, that detail. Wait, what? I thought they kicked in his door.
They were banging on the door. He heard them and he started shooting.
They were banging on the door. Did they kick open the door? Did they kick it down? They were banging. So it's like a knock to make. What? That's kind of.
Not knowing that maybe he got their back. But listen, I'll wait to hear more details. But this makes me think of that prankster that got shot up in the mall. And then when I saw what happened, I'm like.
The news report said they kicked down the door. So.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. This is very similar. I think a lot of you need to do some finding out. Absolutely. Get shot.
If the guy that shot Trayvon Martin is out.
George Zimmerman.
Yeah, get that other person out.
It's also important to note different states, different laws.
100%.
You know, so that is a factor. But again, to me, that this looks like textbook self-defense, and I'm cool with it. So I'd be curious to see. I'll do follow-ups on this. But again, more pranksters need to go permanently. Oh, but this is a kid. Yeah, well, kids shouldn't do really stupid fucking adult things. It is not a kid thing to do to kick in random people's door. He did it in a neighborhood he don't fucking know either.
I had a fit.
Yo, Abba has no sympathy. Abba's like,
nigga, you gotta go. The fuck is wrong with you?
Get the fuck out of here.
Now, I know Anton Daniels as a creator. I've spoken with him on the phone, and I can honestly say that now he's a much better YouTuber than me. And another person...
Yo, why does O'Shea do that? Why does O'Shea do that? He'd be like, yo, this person's a much better YouTuber than me. It's like, nah, nigga, the person gets more views, nigga. Stop putting sauce on them like that, man. Come on, man.
Who is bigger than me on this platform is Tariq Nasheed. Both of these guys command different audiences, although predominantly black audiences. Tariq Nasheed has been around for many years, and Anton Daniels is kind of on his way up.
See, Tariq Nasheed has all the pro-blacks, the super pro-blacks, and Anton Daniels has a lot of the self-hating coons subscribe to him, loving the message of black hatred and disdain for your own community repeatedly.
Tariq Nasheed holds a dominant society accountable for racism and also focuses on restoring the cultural values of what he considers it to be #FBA, aka the former African American or historical Negro community, while Anton Daniels holds blacks accountable for their own mistakes. Now, Anton Daniels can be seen as an individual that is doing things to get a larger white audience. He's appeared on Dr. Phil.
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. He wants the larger white audience. He wants the mainstream American white audience. That's what he wants. He wants a lot of racist folks. He wants a lot of conservative racist folks, not just regular conservative folks, because he really targets a lot of race baiting type of issues on his channel. A lot of race baiting.
appeared on Fox News, and he would seem that although his audience is predominantly black, he might be a person that is saying things about the black community that some of the whites want to hear but are afraid to say. And he ruffles feathers by saying some very, very interesting things.
Anton's the type of nigga that gives racist folks the ammo to be like, see, there's a black person saying it. They're tired of the community too. Look at them, blah, blah, blah. He gives them the leverage to say the things that they want to say.
Americans, but specifically, let's just talk about black people, because I noticed this thing, black people don't really unite until they can find a European enemy. Black immigrants don't respect people that are traditionally born in America, especially black people that were born in America. They work relentlessly, eat, sleep, grind, hustle, and go and get it.
There's been a concerted effort to turn black immigrants, Africans, Caribbeans, against black Americans. This whole divide, and I don't know why folks constantly participate in this. Immigrants in general, not black immigrants, immigrants in general, from their impoverished countries and their communities that have less availability for opportunity. They look at people that have an abundance of opportunity as entitled, lazy, and blah, blah, blah. That's all immigrants from all walks of life, because they're from a place with way less opportunity. So they look at the opportunities that we have and they value them significantly more. I'm saying we. I ain't no American. Let me check myself, man.
LT checked him. LT said,
I said that to myself, man. We ain't doing that.
So when they finally get over into America and they see the opportunities that's presented to them over there, it ain't nothing that Americans can do. You trying to figure out how to work 40 hours and then go to sleep, and you can't even wake up in order to get to your job that you work from home for. You can't even make the meeting on time.
Now, this is one of his most popular clips in which he's talking about how immigrants are really taking over positions in America, especially from blacks. And he names two categories of immigrants. Africans and Caribbeans, okay? These people are coming over from third world nations, while African Americans tend to be apathetic, #FBA. And so these are the people that are beating blacks to the punch, while blacks are complaining and not doing very much. Then he made a very controversial statement about this.
I have no sympathy for anybody. You get what you deserve.
Yo, this is the wrong theme music in the back. O'Shea, let me help you out, bruh. We need a little more sound on that. Yeah, that's more like it.
Wherever it is that you are in life, that's your bed, sleep in it. I don't care where you were born. I don't care where you come from. I see immigrants coming over here every day from third world countries, outworking you, outpacing you, and making you look bad. I don't care about your reparations. Listen, I don't care if you ever get it. As a matter of fact, I'm advocating against it because it's going to f up my dollar and make inflation go out of control. And so I don't want them to pay you. I don't want you to have nothing. Don't give these motherfuckers nothing. As a matter of fact, not only do I not want you to get nothing from reparations, I think that they should tax you for breathing.
You are miserable.
They should tax you for breathing. And this isn't self-hatred at its finest. It's pathetic.
Now, he said here that reparations is something that even blacks don't deserve. And I remember when this first came out, it was a big statement. Everybody was talking about it, and many folks don't agree, including myself, right? And I've talked to Anton Daniels privately because I do know him about some of these things we're talking about today. But this next video is even more important.
And then we had the panel on Monday night where I basically said that white people are starting to get fed up, and that is the whole premise behind black fatigue, is that nobody wants you to continue to play victim for the rest of your life. They tired of being held accountable for things that their ancestors.
Based on this video and the recent things that have been going on in the media, this is the deflection. And for him to continuously to say this, they're tired of being held. They don't want black people to have the ability to hold them accountable because they feel as if black people should be their permanent underclass. You are speaking for a subsect of racist white folks, Anton Daniels, you goddamn idiot. Like, they're just crying for these folks, playing the victim. Oh, they're tired of X, Y, and Z. Okay, you do something, you be held accountable. Okay, so but you're tired of black people. Okay, so come on, man. Come on, man. Let me play this through.
Is the whole premise behind black fatigue. Is that nobody wants you to continue to play victim for the rest of your life. They tired of being held accountable for things that their ancestors did. They tired of you blaming all of your failures and the things that you weren't able to accomplish on white people. They're tired of you sitting there saying that you're a victim every single day, regardless of what your circumstance is, regardless of what you've been given.
So what is black fatigue from your perspective? The things that you're describing from the racist white folks. I always have to say the racist white folks to put it in the proper perspective, because it's a whole bunch of victim Olympics. It's a whole bunch of crying. Oh, we're tired of all these complaints.
So he talks about black fatigue, and here he was reacting to a video, which is his more primary mechanism of content delivery now. And he's saying, listen, the lady on the screen that was talking, all these blacks are making mistakes, and it makes it more difficult for me when I go outside, because now I'm judged along with the rest of you, and that's messing up my image, and I'm also tired of that. Okay? And I think to certain points, many of us as African Americans have felt at least that way maybe once or twice in our life. I remember one time.
But what we do with that is we call out the specific individuals. When I sit up here and I call out specific individuals in the Passport Bro space for dusting it up and having black folks be looked at a certain way internationally when they're traveling, like some sort of tricks, like we're out here just doing for some P for P, like we're out here with the cameras and putting in people's faces and creep camming and doing all that stuff, creating a negative image for black folks globally. We don't call out the community and talk about black fatigue and we're tired of black people in general. No, we call out the specific individuals that propagate such a negative stereotype for us. When you take it on the entire community, it just shows what you really think of your own people. You think that majority of a whole, because if it's a small subset, why the hell you throwing the entire community under the bus? And not the entire as in all, I mean majority. Because if it's not an issue if it's not majority, so why are you complaining about it as if it's a majority issue for black people? Because most black people are just regular tax-paying citizens. Not the worst stereotype that they chalk us up to.
Again, I used to work at a pretty large corporation, and somebody gave me the comment that, oh, you're not like the other blacks that I know. And I was young and didn't know any better and took that as some level of compliment. Didn't know that was disrespectful until I got a little bit older. But something happened on Tariq Nasheed's show one night. A caller called.
Now, we're going to get to that in a second. We get this comment. He said, as a black American, I don't see or hear many of the people I know blaming white people for anything. They just don't kiss their butts. This is what people do in the media nowadays. It's the Donald Trump tactic. They just get in front of a mic and say things that are untrue. Run untrue narratives and have people repeat it ad nauseum, and then people start thinking it's true. Like these narratives that people run, it's bullshit. A lot of it is a bunch of bots on the internet. Even when that white woman was commenting, she was combating a comment in her comment section. Did you see a profile picture? Is there an actual human being that you can follow up behind there? Because you look at a lot of the people in the comment sections, there's a lot of agents for anarchy. A lot of people on the internet just doing fuck shit. I don't take internet comments seriously. They're internet comments. They're anonymous half of the time. There's a bunch of dweebs doing nothing. Bunch of people trying to cause chaos. There's people from other channels trying to fuck with you. So it's like you can't take a lot of these things seriously. And to use it as a grounds to hate an entire community based off of fuck shit on the internet. People with profile pictures that display that they're one race and they're a complete fraud and they're somebody else. We don't know who these folks are. Bunch of catfishes. Come on, man.
Called in and asked a particular question.
Hey, do you know Anton Daniels?
Tariq Nasheed then responds with this answer.
No, I kind of seen like some thumbnails of him or whatever. I haven't really watched this joint though.
Is he a tether?
I think he is.
Man,
see, this is the problem with Tariq Nasheed. Everybody is a tether. Everybody's a tether. This man is a foundational black American. But because he goes against, he's a coon, man. He's a coon. Keep it in the proper, frame it correctly, man. Can we get these likes up, chat? Let's listen to this call.
I think he is, because I know he said some little slick shit about me, which, he's just clout chasing. But
he either tether or he a Jesse Lee Peterson nephew or something.
Yeah, but I think he's like a secret tether because some of just his vibe and some of the little slick shit. But yeah. And I'm not trying to give him no clout, but yeah, I think he's a tether.
He's not a tether.
Yeah, I think and we got a lot of that. We got a lot of these little undercover tethers out here. We got a lot of them, family. That's the thing. We got a lot of these undercover tethers.
He's not an undercover tether. He's a homegrown, foundational Black American. He's just a self-hating one. That's all he is. He's just a self-hating motherfucker.
I've seen people, because I know that dude was talking against reparations, and he also was talking about how, I saw a clip where he was talking about how immigrants work so harder than us, and that's tether.
He then also says this.
When you hear people talk about, how immigrants come over and do so well, when you hear somebody going with that.
Now, Tariq Nasheed says that Anton Daniels is a tether. From what I understand, Anton Daniels is #FBA. He's from Detroit, Michigan, and he's been from that area for a long time. But the question is, does Anton Daniels have valid points about the behavior of people in our community? The answer is yes, right? We got to be honest. There are things that Anton Daniels...
Nigga, you gotta go. The fuck is wrong with you?
You having an unnatural allegiance to losers is not like you.
Daniels talks about there are definitely uncomfortable truths about African Americans. Okay, now here's the issue that people will have with somebody like Anton Daniels. It's the over-exhaustion of criticism coming from him, which what people will believe that the reason why he's doing it is because he's trying to clickbait somebody, or he's speaking on the behalf of other people, a larger, broader audience, or he has some level of intention on doing so, right? Which that I can't prove as to what his real intention is. I just know that he has these, I just know this is his content style. It's always been like that. But on the other hand, is a brother like Tariq Nasheed important? Absolutely. Tariq Nasheed will point out the historical situations that whites have caused towards blacks, and that white people cannot absolve themselves from the things that they have done to blacks, and a lot of the things that whites have done to blacks because of the environments that whites have created for blacks to live in. And we can see that this is everywhere where slavery or some level of apartheid system was, okay, or is, okay? Let's look at South Africa. South Africa did not have slavery, but they have some level of apartheid. Mind games, treating blacks bad, dehumanizing them. After the whites have not lived in the country, the psychological damages and effects are there, all right? And South Africa is one of the most dangerous countries on planet Earth with a lot of black on black crime. We can look at Black Brazil. Is it the same there? It's probably even worse. All of that psychological damage caused, and you see black Brazilians at the bottom with a lot of self-hatred, if you want to call it like that. It is a part of that system. The United States is similar, okay? So on 3 different continents, we see 3 different situations, but similar, not necessarily the same, and blacks behaving in similar values. Now, I understand that we need to hold each other accountable, which Anton Daniels talks about, and that's needed. But also at the same time, understanding the other part of ourselves and who also created that is also powerful. So who's right with Tariq Nasheed and Anton Daniels? To be honest, they're both right, okay? And that's where the issue is.
Nah, man, they're both race-baiting, finessing ass motherfuckers. If we gonna keep it a stack. Sometimes Tariq Nasheed be right. A lot of the times he's race-baiting and finessing the community. Most times Anton Daniels is cooning. He'll sprinkle a little bit of right things in there, but he knows what he's doing. I watched Anton Daniels way before he started cooning it up and defending Pearl. Back when he used to do collabs with Kevin Samuels when he was on Lapeef the first time around doing Back when Kayla and Kay and all of them were on Lapeef, his message was far different. He was Mr. Perfect, did everything by the textbook, married his first high school sweetheart, did everything by the Bible. He was that person, talking about the community, uplifting the community. He got a whole wing of black folks in the community underneath him, working underneath him as he built his YouTube empire. And what did he do? Pearl had that incident. He sold them all out. Everybody in that damn sphere looked like a damn coon. Everybody caping for Anton to make his image look correct, but they're also making passes for Pearl. He made that entire space go outside. Sold out all those black folks. And he talks about the things that ail our societies, but he likes to put a majority label and disparage black people while doing so, while kissing up to white people that don't give a fuck about him. That will give him the same Myron treatment. These aren't white people that want the betterment of the society. These are racist white people that want to eradicate black people. And you're helping them. Because you're an idiot. Goddamn. Goddamn.
On one hand, if you're Tariq Nasheed, people will call you a grifter. That's what they're going to say. All you do is talk about the white man. All you do is talk about this or that.
This is who Anton Daniels was describing when he talked about black people complaining and blaming white people in perpetuity for problems that no longer are the white folks' doings. It's people like Tariq Nasheed who constantly race bait. We got to keep it a stack, man. He does this all the time. Everybody's a white supremacist to this guy.
Right? Like, you're just basically pimping the community or whatever. Anybody who talks real black like that, it could be him, it could be people like...
And anybody is a tether, like this statement right here. When Darren P says he calls FBAs who are doing wrongs tethers. He acts like all of us FBAs are perfect and there's some self-hating FBAs who need to act right, who go overboard on the criticism. It's like, you can't, just because, like, yeah, he does that. He has the propensity to be like, yeah, you're a tether instantly if you do something, or the tether talk. If you say something that is synonymous with what a tether would say, you're a tether all of a sudden, although you're a foundational black American.
Dr. Umar or myself, Jason Black, anytime you're telling the truth about what happened to black people, then you are a grifter and then you're a race baiter. Then if you're Anton Daniels or Jason Whitlock or people who have harsh commentary about blacks and what blacks do, or even like Candace Owens, then you're a race traitor, because all you do is do this so that you can continuously bash blacks to get a bag or to get views.
This is the irony of everything, because O'Shea Duke Jackson does both. What he gave Anton and Tariq credit for and says, yeah, they do say certain things that are correct, that's what O'Shea does. O'Shea is the right side of it when he's actually calling people out, trying to hold them accountable for the betterment of the community. That is not the cooning that Anton Daniels does. When O'Shea focuses on things, the ailments, the things that ail our community by the racist folks and the white supremacists, and he goes and combats the Pearls of the world, he's doing what he gave Tariq credit for. But Tariq's not just doing that. Tariq is a nonstop race baiter. There's a difference. You got to draw out the nuances between somebody that is doing what O'Shea does on both sides, opposed to what Anton does on one side and what Tariq does on the other side. Although everything is for monetary gain, there's a way of doing it. And I'm not explaining that right, but it is what it is. It is what it is.
Or to get whatever the case is, and you never criticize the white man, quote unquote. But to be honest, I've been called both. I've been called a race baiter. I've been called a race traitor. And the reality is, one part that is missing from us and the black community is the extreme levels of accountability. We do have to be accountable to each other.
But I think if you are called a race baiter and a race traitor, then that's people just having an issue with the talking points that you have, because you're going to be both. You can be Anton and Tariq at the same time. That doesn't even work. That don't make no damn sense. So it's just people that are just... Oh, shout out to Sir Chai 87 with the $2 super chat. Hold up. I do not have my drop because we have not been getting any super chats, so I have not had it prepared. Hold up, chat. It's been a dusty ass stream.
Donations.
Shout out to Sir Chai 87 with the $2 super chat. Sir Chai says, Duke, the Don, O'Shea, and Anton all have let me down. Damn.
God damn.
What did O'Shea do? Shout out to O'Shea. The rest of them, though.
But we also didn't get to where we're at by ourselves. And that's the one thing that whites want to absolve themselves from, because, oh my God, we're tired of this happening. We're tired of you guys blaming whatever happened to you guys. Okay, it's over now. It happened a long time.
When you listen to the complaints of the people that say they have black fatigue, the racist white folks, a lot of when you really listen in between, when you read between the lines and listen to the bullshit, it's a lot of them they're mad that black people have the entitlement of the average everyday citizen. The average American citizen entitlement that they have for their civil rights, they're mad at. And I'm like, okay, so be mad. It's the dumbest shit when you really take it in. Pause.
Ago, but the whites today still benefit about what happened many years ago, right? And at the same time, we have the ability to fix many of our own problems with our own solutions. We're not helpless and we're not defenseless. And both guys represent a side that people like to listen to, or
they like to hear the problem oversold. Both sides, that's what it is. They're overselling you the problem. If you disconnect and get off this internet and live life, you're not gonna see. You know what? Let me just get into this.
And to be honest, judging at face value, both messages to a certain degree are needed. I can disagree with certain elements about reparations. I can disagree about certain other things. Ultimately, it's a tale of two tapes, and however you want your content delivered to you, it's okay. But ultimately, what I honestly feel is that black people can solve 99% of their problems almost overnight if we are just accountable to each other. While I do believe that white people in the systems can be against blacks, I do feel that black people have more talent than what the system can do to hold against you. And I believe that both of these brothers would agree to that particular statement. But I would just ask you, who do you think has the best message out of these two? I mean, when you talk about black fatigue, and then we understand where Tariq would be, where Anton Daniels would be, which person would you consider to be right?
So at this point in time, I can't get upset, all right? I know many of y'all are probably livid hearing and seeing the foolishness that is going on right now, because there's this new talking point that the Sambos and the racists are putting out there. It's this concept of, oh, black fatigue, all right? We have black fatigue. Even black people have black fatigue. And it's
once again, black fatigue. We got to go back to the original definition, because I didn't even know that this was the original movement.
Why are you here?
Not this.
Because this is a no.
Not this part.
Recently, there's been a lot of talk about black fatigue, and the original definition was in favor of black people tired of systemic racism from the dominant white society. But now
so you take tired of systemic racism from the dominant white society and you turn it into this.
Right? They're giving their talking points from the
black fatigue.
My bad, chat. I went too far. Hold up. Forgot the timestamp. God damn. There we go.
Black fatigue, all right? We have black fatigue. Even black people have black fatigue. And it's being put out there and promoted by the typical miscreants, right? You have the Sambos out there, and you have the racists out there, whether it's,
I've seen him do it.
Damn, you got caught in the edit, bruh.
Mark Dice, the Coon twins, the list goes on.
And I actually think that a more accurate term for black fatigue really is Edward fatigue, to be honest with you, or ghetto fatigue.
I miss you like a hog miss slop, like a baby miss mammy's titty.
And it seems that it's a very coordinated.
If you're tired of ghetto BS, say you're tired of ghetto BS. Don't say it's black fatigue. This is where you feed into idiocy. Oh, I'm tired of ghetto BS, so I'm gonna label it black fatigue. If you don't get the
nigga, you gotta go. The fuck is wrong with you?
Effort, right? They're giving their talking points from the.
And black fatigue was something re-hijacked all the time. Whenever someone's trying to make a point, you know what? Let me get this.
Powers that be, I don't know. We already saw that Tim Pool was given his talking points by Russia. So I don't know. These people are given talking points, and they put out these videos in attempts to make them go viral and to spur just the division. And I came across this on Twitter because it was this failed YouTuber who was talking about, black fatigue and black people view themselves by the color of their skin, not the content of their character and stuff like that.
The lie that's been sold to the black community in particular is that the color of our skin dictates the content of our character.
What? And I couldn't help but laugh because I'm like, y'all can't be this dumb. This is absolutely hysterical. This whole notion that they're trying to put out there by these Sambos of these races, of this whole black fatigue, I find it absolutely hysterical. And I'm gonna tell you why I find it hysterical, right? Because in the same week that they're talking about more black fatigue, let's just think about this. We had a woman go on national television and say she was a racist, all right? And she was an
Yeah. So we had a woman call a black 5-year-old autistic child the N-word. Went on air with she didn't go on air. Her representative Lily Gaddis went on air. The woman that was on TikTok talking about all her friends date broke ass niggas, just throwing around nigga, like she's like whatever, man. She was on air talking about she chest out racist and blah blah blah, and we leave that talking about black fatigue. It's like, are y'all serious?
Unapologetic racist, Piers Morgan. In the same week that they talk about black fatigue, we had a woman, a single mother, all right, who had a history of DUIs, fighting in public. That's what she was charged for.
Brother,
Bitch just woke up, left the house looking like whatever. Like, ma'am, fix your, like, what is that?
Or brawling in public, call a little black kid the N-word, okay, in the same week. In the same week, that same woman has raised almost nearly $1 million for calling the little black kid an N-word, just so we're clear. In the same week that they talk about black fatigue.
Yeah.
In the same week they talk about black fatigue, we had a man who was pulled over by California Highway Patrol come out of his car with an AR-15 walking towards police officers in the same week. In the same week, we had 2 little white boys who were pointing a gun at police as they all spent like 5 hours trying to get the kids to put the gun down, all right? To the point where an officer had to walk around and just take the gun out of their hand. This is in the same week they talk about black fatigue. Now, I've never seen an officer do that for a little black kid. They sure as heck didn't do it for Tamir Rice, but this is what we're witnessing. In the same week, we had a teacher who was charged, multiple teachers who were charged with messing with the kids. That's in the same week. In the same week they talk about black fatigue, we just recently had a father completely send his whole family to the afterlife, and they talking about black fatigue.
Whoa. Look at the pictures that they use when these motherfuckers send.
Talking about black fatigue.
You sent your family to the next dimension, and this is the pictures that they use of you?
Just recently had a father completely send his whole...
Let me move myself from the screen so you can see this wholesome family picture instead of a criminal mugshot that they should be showing. They should be showing him in the worst light possible with the whole...
I've seen him do it!
Like, come on, man.
Family to the afterlife, and they talking about black fatigue. Now, riddle me this, Batman. Riddle me this, Batman. What fatigue, based off of the events that I just told you that happened within this week, what fatigue do you think the country should have?
He's out of line, but he's right.
I forgot to even mention the same week we talking about the destruction of the economy, people losing their jobs, an incoming recession. I don't know, call me crazy, but I've never in the history of this country come across the expression of white fatigue. Isn't that interesting? You could have your 401k completely hit the gutter. You can lose your federal job and be homeless. They're about to, as far as completely end Section 8 housing, which is going to extremely have a negative impact on the white community. But they doing everything and anything. And I've never heard someone come out and say, you know what I have? I have white fatigue. That's what I have. That's what I have.
The reason why you don't hear it?
We don't care.
Let me tell you. We don't care.
I don't care. I don't, like, you know what? Let's get back into this. I'll speak on this later.
White fatigue. I find it absolutely hysterical. That's why I can't help but laugh. Because I'm like, all the things that's happening, you coming up with black fatigue? What? What are you talking about? This is why I don't take these Sambo seriously. Out of everything that's going on, I would think we would have Sambo fatigue, wouldn't you? Shouldn't we have the Sambo fatigue? But this is the problem. This is something that I've said. You have these races who fund these Sambos, and then they use the narratives that they paid them to promote. They use them as it's proof that it's organic. They'll use like a Candace Owens, right, and her documentary on George Floyd, like, look, see, even she's admitting it. And it's just like, bruh, she's doing what you told her to do, bruh. What do you mean?
Let's talk about Shiloh Hendricks.
Now, I should hop on Lucas' panel streams. He has them on Fridays. Listen, Lucas already reached out to me on Instagram a while ago, and I'm bad at business sometimes. I did not respond to the message, and it was like really late. By the time I realized that this nigga messaged me, I was like months late and shit. So I was like, yikes, man. But that was for something completely different. Maybe I'll reach back out. Who knows, man? But I be fucking up the business on Instagram because I ain't on Instagram like that. I think folks got to start adopting the whole email method if they want responses and shit, because I don't like when folks slide in my DM. I'll be leaving folks on red. I don't do the Instagram.
Woman who called a 5-year-old a racial slur. I have worked with 5-year-olds for the last 15 years. Absolutely everything they do is out of pocket. They're like little unhinged drunk people. Nothing they do makes sense. A 5-year-old is capable of rifling through somebody's bag and taking things that don't belong to them. Ask any kindergarten teacher. But I realize why so many people are wanting to defend this. Because black fatigue is real.
Once again, the dumbest leap. The dumbest leap. How does it go from this to black fatigue is real? Like, this is...
Society as a whole is there. We are just so unbelievably fed up with the ghetto ratchet behavior, entitlement, the victimhood, that they want to praise this woman. But what she did...
This is entitlement and victimhood. Right here.
Is not praiseworthy. But also on the same hand, please remember that every day that us white people get on this app...
There is no... What you said was at the end of... That should have ended your sentence. What she did was not praiseworthy. That's it. But no, we don't care about the buts and the...
We get called racial slurs every single day. So if you don't want to be called a racial slur, you also have to stop calling people racial slurs. She'll be watching her back for the rest of her life. Yeah, because that's not thuggery, hoodrattery, animalistic. This is why people have black fatigue. When you act like this, it's not normal.
I didn't do this last time, but I have to do this.
She'll be watching her back for...
Now, reply to Black Sheep of Life's comment. This person. This is the person that commented. Do you see the person in this picture? Is there a person in this picture? This is a logo. This logo is in such bad resolution, I can't make out what it is. It's unintelligible. This is an unintelligible logo. You are going to attribute this to a black person and say, you see, he's talking about, this is what they're doing. This is why we have black fatigue. It's like this is a random agent of anarchy on the internet saying she'll be watching her back for the rest of her life. Nigga, you don't know who this person is. For you to insinuate that person was making a threat on her life and that person was black based on this, and this is why you have black fatigue? Man, if you don't get this bullshit out of my face, bitch.
If you don't get that bullshit out of my face, bitch.
The rest of her life. Yeah, because that's not thuggery, hoodrattery, animalistic. This is why people have black fatigue. When you act like this, it's not normal behavior.
This is not normal behavior. This is short bus shorty behavior. What are we doing out here?
People do stupid stuff. People say stupid stuff. That's life. It's not normal to threaten to unalive people because you don't like what they're doing. We're getting sick and tired of opening up TikTok and seeing brawls on cruise ships, brawls in the airport. It's like literally the most ghetto behavior. We're tired. We're tired of it. But then whining and complaining and acting like it's not your fault that you act that way. Yeah, we're kind of over it.
Ooh.
Now we have Anton Daniels and a panel of 10 people, 9 black women, and Anton Daniels.
Anybody disagree with her? Okay. Do white people have the right to be upset of the ratchet behavior going on in the black community? She said a lot.
Absolutely.
Now you see the issue with someone like Anton Daniels. He will get up here and sell out a community of folks time and time again for what? These folks will see Anton Daniels' panel and see the views on his channel. And for a smidgen of clout, airtime, and attention, folks will go outside by selling out their own community. Yeah, white people have the right. No, scratch that. Racist white people have the right to be mad at black people based on their own activity and the things that they've done to black people. They're going to be mad at black people. We're going to hold black people accountable on an incident that has nothing to do with black people and being held accountable. It's where a white person wants to move with impunity. We're going to focus on the black community now. Yeah, this makes so much sense.
Yes, yes, yes.
Well, Mike, go ahead.
I'm kind of glad they're standing up for themselves. It's like they just was being weird with all the Black Lives Matter signs, saying shit that they really don't mean. I feel like everybody has a right to say and do whatever they feel like doing. And you do too. It's called free will.
49-45, 49-45, 49-45. All right.
Now, I'm not paranoid or anything, but I keep an eye on the neighborhood. And this is unusual for the neighborhood. Okay.
64. Congress passed the Civil Rights Act, which prohibits discrimination on the basis of race, color, religion, or national origin. That means telling two black men that they couldn't be in your neighborhood was illegal, and Paul would be visited again by officers 24 hours later, but with a very different mission.
Hey, Paul. Come on in. You got your sidekick.
We already seen this.
Go to jail, you son of a bitch! All right, hold him back. You go to jail!
Now right back to 49-45.
Oh! To allow people to be exactly, and you do too. It's called free will. You can be racist, your choice. I think you should allow people to be exactly who they are, so you know who you're dealing with. I think everybody just like to be lied to.
You know who they are, so you can get them the fuck out of your community. We cannot integrate these folks into society. We should ostracize these folks from society. You show me exactly what type of piece of shit you are. I know exactly how to move around you, away from you. I know who you are. Now let me tolerate you and deal with your disgusting acts. Let me integrate you and pay you up to $1 million and GoFundMe. What are we doing out here? The idiocy. The absolute idiocy.
They don't like reality.
Okay. So did anybody screw her?
Ultra Stockholm
I think it's
syndrome.
more ghetto fatigue, if anything, because
yes,
if it can be black fatigue all you want, but I'm tired of all the ghetto hot mess too. So
How about you label it ghetto fatigue? If you know majority of black people are regular tax-paying citizens and aren't in the ghetto doing ratchet activity, why would you talk about black fatigue instead of ghetto fatigue? Like white people, Asian people, brown people don't reside in the hood doing ghetto activities that you can see in compilations on Twitter. This woman talking about she's tired of X, Y, and Z on Twitter. There's a whole channel dedicated to crazy white people doing crazy white shit. If people wanted to highlight and lament that every day and complain about white people on the channel, they could. The reason why we don't do that shit because
we don't care.
Let me tell you, we don't care.
I'm not running a narrative based off of a slant, based off of let me just compile the worst of the worst and run that damn narrative. I don't give a fuck. I'm not focused on that.
I see it mostly in the black community. However, I see it with all skin tones. I educate my daughter personally to call people the color of wheat. We're all different shades of wheat. There's nobody that's black. There's nobody that's white. We're all different shades. We're all human. But it's...
Didn't this one say to reside in reality? We have agreed upon terms to call folks. That's just what it is. Not everybody knows everyone's ethnic origin or which their nationality, where they come from specifically. So you chalk it down to, oh, you seen the person describe them. What were they? Oh, that was a black male about 6'5", high value. It's like
the ghetto hot mess that is. I'm tired. I am tired of it.
Yeah, I think there are the black like.
I would agree that.
Go ahead, Galen.
was that Miss Freckles, her point that because the black community is already a small community, even when you have a small portion of people that's promoting the degeneracy, the ghetto behavior, the not knowing how to conduct themselves in public spaces, it gives a whole bad reputation for the black community in itself. So I think she's just saying like the black community, you really don't have room to be acting ratchet, ghetto, hood, and like you don't have any common sense when people before us sacrificed a lot just to make sure that we can get an education and have jobs and have our families. Least you can do is conduct yourself like you have sense and like you've had people to fight for you before you even born. So that's that.
Yeah, but gentleness and dignity is not boiled down to just black people though. Like let's not act like black people are the only people fighting on cruises or the only people who have out of pocket behavior. So I don't like the term black fatigue, but I do think that, you know, there is a group of people who exhibit certain behaviors that could go into that category.
That's facts. And this is what I like to talk about. And this is why I like to use individuals as an example and be like, this behavior through this individual is what we don't like to see in our community, and highlight that in an individual and talk about the subsect in the community that operates like an individual. What she said was absolutely correct. If people have ghetto fatigue, you can say that all day, every day. And if you're talking about ghetto fatigue within our community, we can talk about that all day, every day and try to get to the solution and try to get to the betterment of our community. But when you label it black fatigue and the subtext here is ghetto-ness, it's like, what are we doing out here? So you're trying to label the majority of blacks ghetto, and this is the way they operate. And you're trying to put that stereotype and have black people doubling down and saying it. Like, it's ridiculous. The framing is important. Bunch of rookies in the media, man.
Oh, hold on. I ain't never seen no white people fight on no cruise line. Maybe it's my
white people be fighting.
What?
They do be fighting. We just don't see it because, you know, you got black Twitter and then you have the opposing.
But it's not a norm. It's not the norm for them.
Is it the norm for black people to be fighting on cruise lines? Yo, if you don't get these folks the fuck out of here.
How would we know?
Nikki, are you white? Would you know? I mean, I'm just saying, like.
Well, I'm around.
Yo, she just hit her with the.
I mean, are you white?
White people a lot, and I'm around black people a lot. But let me first, I want to make my point about the video. I don't think that, if I'm not mad, I get it. Like, what's your name?
Yo, can we get these likes up, chat? Can we get these likes up? I know I ain't getting no super chats, but can we get these likes, chat?
Hide the money, y'all. There's poor people around. With your broke ass.
Likes are free, chat. Likes are free, chat. Let's get these likes.
Was 0 down, no credit. Yeah.
Nara.
Yeah, Nara.
Nara. I do agree with her. Like, I was kind of like, okay, I've been seeing white people, they're starting to stand up for themselves. But I don't think it's necessarily that they even think so much about us, like black people think they do, that they care about the ratchetness because it's affecting us. But I think the main issue is we keep blaming them. And that's why they're starting to speak up. Because they're tired of both behavior, but the main part is we're blaming them. Black people blame the white people for every issue and everything that's going on.
No, we don't blame them for every issue that's going on, but there's definitely some things that they played a part in, but we're not saying they're the total blame for that.
But nobody says that. Like, the loudest voices don't say that. The loudest voices are not saying that.
What are they?
I'm actually surprised you're saying that.
What are they responsible for today that we need to blame them for?
I will say that due to a lot of things that have happened throughout history, that does bleed into society today to some extent. I don't think that some of the segregation or some of the things that went on within the black community, I don't think all of that has completely went away. Now, are there more opportunities for black folks to succeed? Yes. Do I think that black people play a part in their demise sometimes? Yes. But I also think that on the flip side of that, there is some truth to there still being some bias out there. There's still being some racism out there. And I will say that maybe it's not as blatant, and maybe sometimes white folks can be unintentionally biased when it comes to certain things, or they might have unconscious thoughts that they're not intentionally trying to be a way, but maybe they just are a certain way based off of how they were raised, who they were around, some of the things that they heard, and so forth.
So,
I think the delusion.
When you're a black youth growing up in certain communities, like I grew up in Crosstracks. Crosstracks is a block in Malvern. You walk to the goddamn corner store to get a slice of pizza or something, cops are running up on you, harassing you, asking you questions and trying to search you and do all sorts of bullshit. You literally leave your crib to go get a slice of pizza and that type of shit happens. I remember I moved to Port Union, one of the whitest neighborhoods in all of Scarborough, before I moved back to Malvern. When I moved to Port Union, the activity, the crime, the drugs, the guns, everything was the same like it was in Malvern. I was like, this is not the hood. This is a white community. Why the fuck is there so much drugs and so much criminal activity going on and nobody's getting harassed? Party after party, drugs being sold, things going on, nobody cares. And I'm like, so it's happening in this area, but people are being harassed to death in the hood? I'm like, damn, this is crazy, man. This is the same activity. Of course, the hood is a little more vile, a little more violent. People are a little more grungy, stand on principle, stand on business a little more. These kids in Port Union snitching and a bunch of cowards and shit. But it doesn't matter. The same criminal activity, the same drug selling, the same shit was going on there. And folks were living their life. Not worried, not looking over their shoulder, not being harassed by cops, able to live and develop, being able to hang in certain areas, loiter, do all they want. No harassment. Black people standing outside on a corner store too long, cops rolling up. What are y'all doing here? Asking questions, body search, everything. It's like, what is, it's not the same. You're acting like it's the same. As a black youth in certain cities, certain areas, you grow up and you are terrorized and you are put in the perspective of a criminal not doing anything. You're just merely existing, and you get framed as a criminal, and you have to beat that perception.
So you think that so you think that white
It's not black people playing the victim. It's just highlighting the difference in the upbringing of certain folks and how they treat people.
people are intentionally or unintentionally or blatantly or subconsciously causing harm to black people today?
To an extent, but everybody has bias. It's not just limited to white people. Black people have bias too.
Give me an example. Give me a real concrete example.
Of what? Being like unconsciously biased or like blatantly biased?
How are they causing harm to black people today specifically?
Have you heard of white fragility or like white tears? When we talk about corporate America or in the workspace, right? For an example, sometimes you do have, and I've heard stories like this where when black women have felt boxed in the workplace based off of how they identify, and a lot of that can be due to experiences or interactions that they've had with white women, or let's just say a white woman.
This is new to me. So
well, let me explain. For an example, you might have a white coworker who's very passive at work, but then, for an example, if a black woman addresses the situation, she could, now I'm intimidated, or she did X, Y, and Z, or she made me feel away. So there are some ways that maybe white folks can still be harmful. They could be biased in a way of, I gave that example before where I had somebody say, well, why can't people?
Well, hold on. I don't want you to jump over examples because I'm slow.
Okay.
So I'll be trying to catch up.
But I do believe.
Hold on. I don't want you to jump over examples because I'm slow.
I gotta make that a drop. Hold on, let me move out of the way so y'all can hear and witness him say this.
Bias in a way of, I gave that example before where I had somebody say, well, why can't people?
Well, hold on. I don't want you to jump over examples because I'm slow.
Okay.
So I'll be trying to catch up.
But I do believe a lot of it is.
Hold on, Jess. Let me ask my question.
Okay.
So they felt. What did they feel? What did the black women feel in the workplace?
For an example, there have been situations where, and I've also I've felt this before, where I've had a coworker who did not identify as black, and they were very passive in the way that they handled things that affected me. Not
So
by
what should they have done?
This has nothing. This correct buzzer. This has nothing to do with what we're hearing in the background. This has everything to do with Darren P's comment. Darren P says privilege today is benefit of the doubt, second chance, and opportunity, and that is exactly what privilege is today. Give me a second, chat. I hope I turned my mic off for that. Shit, what was I saying now? It was literally like 2 seconds. Come on, man.
You want to sit there and stay on the weed.
How did I forget already? All right, let's get back into this.
What should they have been more aggressive in?
not necessarily aggressive, but if there's an issue, if there's something going on, I think there's an appropriate way to address a coworker, and there's a very passive aggressive way to do that.
Like what? Give me a real example. What happened?
I would rather not get into that on this particular platform, but I will say that I have seen that happen where
Because a white woman was passive about how y'all felt that they should have handled the situation, that somehow affects.
No, they were passive aggressive in a particular work situation that happened. So something happened at work that caused a rift between two co-workers, and the white coworker was very passive aggressive in how they handled the situation, whereas the black woman was more direct in the situation. The white woman ended up going to higher leadership saying, hey, I feel intimidated, she's angry, she's X, Y, and Z, and gave all of these different outliers or all of these different characteristics to this black woman who just said, hey, like, what's the issue? What's the problem? Who was very direct, but wasn't angry, didn't have all of these stereotypes that typically black women sometimes get in corporate America working period.
So it sounds like
that is the corporate America game. Passive aggressive wins. Direct, overt loses in corporate America. Corporate structures, that passive fuckery is what wins.
Y'all making up stuff to be offended by.
No, it's the white woman's playing victim. It's as if the white woman.
That's a real thing.
Okay,
and in a corporate structure, whoever tells first, whoever complains first, is the person that gets taken seriously as well. There's just ways to maneuver in a corporate structure, but honestly, I ain't listening to the rest of this because
we don't care.
Let me tell you,
we don't care.
We got other things to speak about. I am delaying the shit out of the Meg Thee Stallion show, but we got to speak about Meg Thee Stallion. We got to speak on DDG and Halle Bailey still. We're behind on a variety of topics. We got to speak about suspect getting fired from No Jumper. Nigga got set up for that, but he's a complete crash out, complete child, so he deserves that. We're going to speak on that later. We're going to speak on Poetic Flacco and Adam 22 taking more community or copyright strikes at Point and Shoot. There's a lot of topics to talk about. I ain't gonna lie. We have Myron topics to speak about. We have Random University going at Pink Book lessons. We got why Duke the Don hasn't been on YouTube. Whoa! There is the most topics to tackle, and since we are back in full effect, y'all hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. We will be back shortly. Well, not shortly. We ain't gonna be back tonight, but tomorrow we gonna. I don't know about tomorrow either, but we gonna be out here, man. We gonna be out here. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and catch these shows. Hit that notification bell so you ain't missing shit. We out, man. Yeah.